Another JoJo Rabbit here. Gentlemen, stop all that foolishness and go home and kiss your mothers or moms. You lousy street punks and skinheads and gangbangers. Firing off rounds at one another. Shooting, hitting anybody and everybody else or anything and everything else but your rival counterparts of brain dead, brainwashed, brainless, bonehead, butthead, bonehead caveman characters from the Stone Age era. Go home and kiss your mothers or moms. Mama. Honor the legacy of your moms. Having tried to secure your lives in one regard or another on a positive note. Mama. Your moms, your mothers and moms who have no day off looking after you. Is that how you want to destroy her good legacy? By proving how much the likes of y'all years could come off like some sort of such type of faggoty poop butts or piss ants out here gang banging different races of street punks and skinheads, coming off like a neighbor from hell, faggoty or closet faggot male character, like what I have for myself at the moment, that is coming against me, assuming that he himself has a legit personal vendetta, legit grudge match with me. And I have never done anything to this creep as well as crank. Be making different sorts or types of extreme and excessive noises upon a daily and a nightly basis. And then whereas himself wants to complicate matters by bombing with my apartment door. Well, he's not the only one for this creep and crackpot, for this creep and crank male character as he himself is, that be doing that. Then because there are others licensed candidate that does that as well. Like what I suspect of certain neighbors next door to left and right of me. Only for this other one in particular, the main one carrying on, making different extreme and excessive noises within that a unit's atmosphere for his premises properties of a place of residence, as he goes about defying or violating his apartment rental lease, and as well as he would, disregard, ignore, or disrespect my rights and privileges as his fellow neighbor of a resident or tenant, who is entitled to peace of mind like anybody else, And whereas more often than not, 9 times out of 10, I would have to put up with his nonsense, have to tolerate it, all the while I prepare for an upcoming scheduled inspection appointment for my own unit's atmosphere of a place of residence, so that the extermination process could be gone about, taken care of for any critters of insects or bed bugs as well as roaches, etc. But nevertheless, I'm going to have to prepare for it. In the meantime, before then, repositioning certain item products or certain my personal effects, possessions, or property, certain personal effects, belongings, or possessions, a property of mine. Whereas I will reposition some of such so that the areas will be made much more easier access to an exterminating for bugs of any kind, sort of type, and ways it's bad enough, I'm going to have to be like preparing, while, these rather unfavorable weather temps are in session, and likewise as well, all the same as I have to put up with the nonsense of this one particular proverbial neighbor from hell, or putting some problem neighbor can on, as usual, with his daily and right and really now am I saying with his daily and nightly noises. That was just him, as you heard, and with his daily and nightly routine, especially when he carries on within the late night evening hours, making the same ridiculously ignorant and or insane noises of different sorts or types, And believe me when I say that it was hot as damn hell today for this summer season as we have it, to be compared on how it could be said, it is cold as damn hell for a winter season. Yeah, And I was like, what the? And all like, oh, Lord have mercy, free the slaves. And hopefully nobody's working in the cotton fields at the moment somewhere. If it's damn hot as hell there as well as here, as some kind of a sharecropper. Oh, Lord, free the slave. Where's my water at? Oh, hold it, don't you? Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's for the day. You know what I'm saying? Been real scorching for the day. And I know damn well, my name call my friends, that none of you, MFers, bastards and bitches alike, or whatever race, or whatever walks of life, should be drinking anything that has any alcoholic content. For the weather temps being as it is. This is just some kind of ginger soda or ginger health drink. Oh, hold it up.
It is now day 6 in the search for a missing boy in Hammond, Indiana. 12-year-old.
We're talking about a missing boy on the television, news channel station network, or one among some such other. Hopefully none of them overgrown perverts of gay, pedophile Catholic priest wannabes got a hold of him and hold them hostage somewhere. That'd be disgusting. I mean, I don't mean to dwell on the negative, but I'm just saying, I mean, it's something you have to think about. And we're getting back to some or such others, though. Yeah, you poop butts and pissants of gangbangers or street punks and skinheads or whatsoever races. Cut out all that nonsense of taking pot shots at one another. Pot shots at one another. Whatever I've said, or firing off rounds at one another. Because you're not really hitting your targets of fellow rival gangbangers or street punks and skinheads. All you're doing is mainly or mostly, dropping like a hot potato, dropping old women and children of innocent bystanders or pedestrians. And that's not cool. Same it could be said when it comes to any of made men or mob families or members of 1% of MCs or motorcycle clubs and the likes of members of drug cartels. You hear what I'm saying? Stop all that nonsense. And go home and kiss and hug your mothers or mamas. Mama. So says this here of some such other or another Jojo Rabbit. Mama. Because your mothers and moms didn't take a day off providing for the likes of y'all. Or you funky, foul, brain dead, brainwashed, brainless, effing idiot, Stone Age caveman, characters, or poop butts, or piss ass, or faggoty, gang banging street punks and skinheads when y'all was male youth as boys. So why would you want to, dishonor your mother's or your mom's legacy of trying to raise you right, trying to set you on the right path by continuing to walk down that road to destruction once you got a little age upon yourselves, got too big for your britches to get an ass whipping. Now you want to disrespect your mother's or mom's legacy of taking care of your rusty, dusty, musty, funky, foul asses as you come off acting out, misbehaving like some source of such types of shithead ass pieces of shit. Cut that out. Excuse my apartment friend. Scratch that last, but then I think you get the general idea what I'm like trying to say. Cut that nonsense out. And go home. Go home to your different, whatever habitats or houses or apartments or places of residence. If you have your mothers or moms living with you, you're supposed to be taking care of them, or if you're paying a visit to that of their own places of residence, and let them know how much you love them and appreciate what they had done or did for y'all or years. So go home and hug and kiss your mothers or mamas or moms. Mama. Unfortunately, unfortunately, mine is in a nursing home at the moment. So I don't have my mother's mom so easily accessible to me like some of you guys, fellas, may have. You know what I'm saying? But then back at my pad, I'm having to prepare for this upcoming scheduled inspection appointment for the extermination process for bugs, And all the while I'm gonna have to prepare. I have like a few days, including counting the weekend, to get ready for it, regardless of what the weather temps may be like for this particular season of a calendar year, and regardless of the neighbor from hell, faggoty or closet faggot, cocksucker of a male character, going about with the same old crazy shit or crazy F and BS to rephrase that. And I'd be wondering if he creeps just as much as he be making all those crazy noises of extreme excessive nature, or worse yet, could be creeping that much more. Then because he's a lunatic maniac, creeping a weirdo, sicko psycho, cowardly bully, and a terrorist wannabe, psychopath, sociopath, sadomasochist, sadist, male character, some kind, some sort, or such type. And he could probably creeping right now as I speak, whereas you heard him before making a racket during the early part of this video. Because stupid does as stupid feels, I mean, you're always going to have some kind of airhead like that. Probably has the brain the size of a peanut, like an extinct dinosaur. Or you come off like some kind of a dinosaur turd, bonehead, butthead caveman character, or uncivilized prehistoric Neanderthal or savage. I mean, he's a really loser freaking idiot jerk. I have to put up with this every day and every night. Same old crap. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And people in hell want ice water. I can imagine how there's area spotting damn hell. They could find damn hell reserved just for his crazy ass. Just for his stupid and sick crazy ass. Oh, let me rephrase it. Just for his stupid and sick crazy self. Creepy as well as stupid and sick self. I mean, the man has got a really severe or serious mental problem, requiring the desperate necessary treatment, remedies, rehabilitation coming from licensed shrinks psychologists and or psychiatrists, how much more, or just as much, if not more, equally well, he needs professional mental health services of treatment coming from an exorcist, before somebody else mandates that he himself appear before a judge, jury, and prosecutor for a possible and a potential much more severe or serious hate crime of a violation offense against another person, another individual person, be he himself has an accomplices in crime or fellow creeps and cranks like himself or not. All that though. Trying to get more light here. The light is pretty good. At the moment, natural daylight. Like coming up on 7 o'clock hour where I do return my lights in my place rather than on anyway. About 7 o'clock prime time hour. Be possibly considered. I have some such a good time. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Huh? Yes. Yes. My peace, my folks. I'll let y'all see so much of what my place looks like. So much of any cousin. Still left some bags. Snacks. Yeah. I'm sitting in a chair. Some other part of my pad, I was sitting in my bed before. I was looking kind of junky. Background, I see. Background is that. You know what I'm saying? Disregard that. That's just some person. Not for me. Hell damn no, it's not for me. Just in case I may get a lady friend sometime soon enough. And, then I give that to her. So here, dear, there's something for you, sweetheart. Yeah, it's for you. I saved it just for you. This here. Yeah. No lady friend can take the place of my main sweetheart, being like my mother and mom. No, I didn't mean that in an incestuous way. You know what I mean? Unless I run into someone that has the same qualities of character, qualities of character, qualities of character, her being my OG, my mother, mom. Yeah, getting back to something such other, I'm going to really have to do pretty much sort of a crash course on my place, repositioning my place of residence, where I pay monthly, annual monthly rent. Have to reposition some stuff so that the exterminator could have much more easier access to certain areas within my place of residence to do the necessary extermination process of spraying for insects or bugs or whatever sort of type of this kind and that kind, especially when it comes to the bed bugs, when it's bad enough to have to put up with any roaches, have to get rid of something such as that, that problem of those critters, because I have never been homeless by choice. I'm not trying to go there. And as I believe that the bed bugs and even so the roaches, not to mention the bed bugs, are coming from this other neighbor's apartment, into that of my own place of residence. Being of the neighbor, from there I'm held one of the dime a dozen public nuisance and problem neighbors. Characters being of whom I was telling you all about, making all these ridiculously ignorant and insane noises of extreme excessive nature of some source of such type, because he's a real stupid and sick character, but creepy as well as crazy, just as creepy and crazy as some of these gang bangers out here, street punks, skinheads, firing off rounds at one another, hitting anybody and everybody or anything and everything, but the focuses or targets of their attentions being their fellow rival counterparts or other gang bangers or street punks and skinheads, and whereas old women and children get caught up and all that madness get caught in the middle and end up being taken down, taking a bullet that they did not so rightly deserve, but they just had gotten caught in the crossfire of some stupid and sick, creepy and crazy gangbangers, street punks and skinheads, gang warfare, whereas they're taking a bullet as innocent bystanders or pedestrians. And that's wrong. And you gangbangers and street punks need to stop that. All the same as what needs to, be ended in the Middle East, with the way there's like that warfare that's been going on for quite a while between some kind sort of type of an Islamic Muslim terrorist organization and the Israeli military, being those fake Jews or white Jewish racist redneck Nazi Zionists white boys are no better than those being their former persecutors, the much more familiar racist redneck Nazis, being of whom had terrorized and traumatized the fake Jews or white Jewish upon the continent of Europe during World War II, and had put more than quite a few of them in concentration camps or death camps, and likewise put them in crematoriums and gas chambers before the military allies otherwise had liberated the continent of Europe at some such given moment in time. And whereas the only real resistance among the white Jewish for Nazi-dominated Europe for a time were the white Jewish persons of the resistance movement within the Russian province of Warsaw, Poland, whereas they gave the much more familiar Nazis tit for tat. They gave them a run for their money, whereas those Aryans, not that all Germans are Aryans, whereas, they were kind of reluctant to attempt that blitzkrieg number in the Jewish populated areas of the Russian province of Warsaw, Poland, because they knew they was going to get a run for their money. They knew they were going to get a good fight, a good or great fight out of those particular white Jewish. So they did know that those Aryan Nazis, because those white Jewish in Warsaw, Poland, they weren't playing. They was throwing down with the Aryan Nazis. They were like, the Warsaw, Poland, white Jewish person, they were giving them Aryan, man, they were giving them Aryan Nazis tit for tat, man. They're like, you got to bring ass to get ass. We ain't laying down so easy like those other white Jewish of our fellow countrymen. You got to bring ass to get ass, bring ass to get ass, bring ass to get ass. Because we're going to leave our business card with y'all MFers, with your loser effing idiot, Frankenstein freak monsters, regardless of whatever the outcome could possibly come or be. Yeah, them Warsaw white Jewish, them Warsaw Poland, them Warsaw Poland white Jewish Russian citizens weren't playing with those Aryan Nazis. They was throwing down like no other white Jewish. They was showing they ain't no easy pushover. It's like you may make floor mats out of some of such others of our white Jewish person, but you're not gonna make floor mats out of us because we're the white Jewish. We're the white Jewish Russian citizens that y'all won't count on to give y'all a fight for your money. Yeah. Put your money where your mouth is. But anyway, y'all, yes, I'm going to close this here on this last note of interest. You hear what I'm saying? And I'm thinking that I have to prepare for this upcoming scheduled inspection appointment for the extermination process for my unit, place of residence, regardless of what the weather's temps may be like, and regardless of what you just heard of you know who cuckoo pops, native from hell, faggot here and faggot there, faggoty, or worse yet, closet faggot native from hell, attempting to throw a monkey wrench in the program. Like this one in particular that's attempting to drive me completely bonkers, and as well misbehaving like as if he himself is attempting to drive me out of house and home and want me to sleep that one. You know, wants to throw a monkey wrench in the program, want me to focus so much of my attention upon him than what I should try to focus more of my attention upon being, which is to get my pad together, my place of residence, so that when the day rolls around sometime next week for the exterminator to come on through here at my unit for its premises and properties to exterminate for bugs, you know, for the scheduled appointment, you know, for that particular sort of type of inspection. But then you all take care and be blessed, you hear? And as well to be safe. That is, if you haven't gotten Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, I would hope that you would think to do so now while the blood is still running warm in your veins, by recognizing and realizing what he himself had done or did upon the cross of Calvary on the hill of Golgotha, suffering at the hands of some Roman soldiers up under the orders of their superiors, religious and otherwise, the Pharisees and Sadducees and Satirians, etc. But then, nevertheless, ways he went to that cross of Calvary to become, be the perfect sacrifice, the only sacrifice for you as well as for me. So that if any of us, being of whatsoever races and whatever walks of life, factions of society, lifestyle preferences, being the old, young alike of both two sexual genders, of males and females, representing not only that being the global community, but then nevertheless the human species within this post 911 era of our new millennium, this apocalyptic day and age, and whereas the doomsday clock is now at a couple few minutes of midnight compared on to our former periods prior to then was a quarter midnight for these rather biblically prophetic times, where the professed some of faith in him. From there we become and be blessed in one regard or another, in more ways than one. First and foremost with his salvation, being of which is the only means by which any of us can or could possibly enter into the kingdom of heaven, and or be considered as likewise being citizens thereof. Or whatever I have to say, be I speak correct, proper standing English grammar, American dialect, or some such quality and quantities or not. As I think of it with that, my mind's taking try to backtrack here. With reason or purpose being, unless I can go into following to continue for when that my person last left off, so I can finish up as in complete a form of previous and our prior line thought in the saints of the world. And then where second of all, we will be blessed with his deliverance while we're still down here upon planet Earth in this world, as we know it according to the worldly system of things. But first, we have got to accept his not just the much more important, but the most important blessing of his being of his salvation by recognizing and realizing what he himself had done upon the cross of Calvary to fulfill biblical prophecy. And then accept him as your own personal Lord and Savior. Otherwise, you have nothing coming so far as blessing is concerned. And if and when, well, eventually you will, like anybody else, because there are two things that I know among others that is sure to happen: death and taxes. So whenever you make that transition for the great beyond the hereafter, if you have not accepted Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, to have that blood sacrifice as an insurance policy upon them within your souls, then your final destination will be the lake of fire, damn hell, to be assumed with the rest of the unsaved unbelievers and unbelievers, to be damned for all eternity, to be tortured and terrorized by the devil and his demons forever, compared to how we as believers in God, as in Christian, a.k.a. Protestant, would be across that great divide that separates heaven from hell, in the company of like-minded believers in God as in Christians, a.k.a. Protestants, and in the presence of God as angels otherwise, you know, because God is not to be mocked. What you sow is what you shall reap. In there, y'all. Oh, yes, you know what I'm saying? Don't get on that last leg of this great journey of life and still have not accepted Christ as your personal Lord and Savior by professing faith in him. Otherwise, it's going to cost you dearly, you know. Mark my words. And people in hell want ice water. And there's not an unbeliever, a non-believer in damn hell that is not a believer now. Only difference is that they accepted Christ as their own personal Lord and Savior much too late, when they should have accepted Christ as their personal Lord and Savior before they made that transition for the next world, before they crossed on over into the great beyond, the hereafter, the afterlife. You all take care and be safe. Be blessed, not stressed, and peace and love, joy, happiness.